that was a point where we had to bring on more coaches.
Yeah.
So I think Tammy was our next addition. And, you know, in terms of like, you know, even adding coaches to our team, it wasn't that we just hand picking people randomly out of our coaching team. It was like, guys, who has an interest in this? You know, who actually likes sitting behind a computer and checking in and scrolling, you know, once a day and providing feedback to YouTube videos.
It's a very different craft.
It's 100%
than coaching in a group class atmosphere, right? And that's something that you had to learn. That's something our coaches had to learn. We have coaches who aren't part of that right now, like Alex, because he just realized that that personal connection on the group floor just isn't replicated on online space, and that's not something that he enjoys. But you have to try and learn before you can make that decision, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, remember, Al was a part of it. He was just honest and said, you know what, I'm not good at this and I don't enjoy doing it. And we were like, okay, well, let's not make you do something you're not good at and don't enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And so then that's where we brought Tammy in, and it's probably around about. I'm probably skipping out a lot of stuff right now.
We're going
because there's so much stuff that happened. But at some point in time, as a coaching team is getting more and more clients to follow, and we were able to provide less and less feedback, and our standards started to slip, it got to a point where we basically said, for what we give to our athletes, I think our price point is a bit too cheap. We're essentially creating a premium product on the market. We're giving people an individualized coach, which other organizations are charging over $100 for a month. And we're charging $39.99. There's no wonder we're getting such an uptake and people wanted to be a part of this program. So this was a massive learning curve for us. You know, we said, well, what do we do? And we made that decision to increase the prices. And we basically went from $39.99 to $69.99. Now, massive learning curve here is that even though $69.99 relative to the industry, where there are companies who are charging over $100 for the same thing, seems like a really affordable price, compared to $39.99, it was a massive jump. It's almost double. And I think our existing subscribers felt that it's not that it wasn't worthy of a $69.99 jump, but they just weren't really prepared to double their expenses on their training programs. So we actually, in that transition, as we increased the prices, we gave people about 3 months heads up, said in 3 months time this is going to be happening. We gave people an opportunity to buy upfront packages. That was something new we started. We only ever had 1 month subscriptions, and we created 1 month, 3 months, and 6 months. And the reason we did that was to try and mitigate the potential damage of increasing our price, because we wanted to retain everyone, really. We also knew that it would be the more committed people that stayed, perhaps the people who'd been a part of the program who maybe weren't logging results as consistently or weren't as bought into the program would probably drop off. But we saw that being a very small percentage. So when we launched those new prices, we definitely had a bit of kickback. Not much, not as much. I think we were all I was super nervous about it. I knew that it was the right move to make, and I knew that we were 100% worth that new value. But I was a little bit scared about what the people who'd been with us for, you know, all since way back to those 3 days, 7 years, what they'd be thinking, you know, going from free to $69.99. And in that process, we actually did have quite a few people drop off the program. Now, in terms of like overall revenue, we had a slight increase because the price had doubled, but that really wasn't actually the goal. The goal wasn't about increasing revenue. The goal was, you know, having a perceived value that matched what we were offering. And really, like, we knew we were still a small company. We knew we were still, you know, only 2 years into business. We needed to just grow, and like having people on the program was super important to us. So yeah, that's my first hurdle that I know we can talk about for a lot longer. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think we had a lot of chats about that price increase. I don't think we were all 100% on board. We all had our own arguments in favor and against it. But just like anything we do, we were like, fuck it, we're just going to try it and see what happens. And if not, we know we'll be able to remedy any situation, right? I think during that time, it's also important to note that we didn't not add value, because we did learn from our mistake the first time from going free to nothing. We made the elite program accessible to everybody, so now you get access to 4 programs instead of 3. You skipped that one. We also have the water cooler, which is a new feature before we increased our prices, which is this amazing community chat forum where people feel like they know everybody, even though you're on opposite sides of the world, right? And we made it a standard that the coaches had to post on that water cooler every day of the week. So we were ensuring that there was going to be community engagement. There was going to be constant education. Every day on that post, we're learning something new, right? And so those were standards that we increased of ourselves and our value in order to sort of justify.